This way! See the most wondrous sights imaginable!
Kansas is full of good men. I don't want to be a good man. I want to be a great one.
You're gonna need this!
Alright everybody, welcome to the review for Oz the Great and Powerful. So I just got back from seeing this movie, and we're going to go ahead and wax realistically on this one. Basically give you the setup for those that have been living under a rock for like the last 40, 50, 60 years, however long it's been since the original Wizard of Oz, or anyone that happened to have caught some of those offshoot Wizard of Oz movies / cartoon series / books, whatever. Basically what this film is a prequel. This is a precursor to Dorothy's adventure in the original Wizard of Oz. Basically what we have here, and this isn't really a spoiler, if you haven't seen the original Wizard of Oz by this point, kill yourself, because it's been a while. But basically we have the titular character, which is played by James Franco. James Franco is playing Oz, who is the guy behind the curtain, the great and all-powerful wizard. James Franco is basically a con man. He is a snake oil salesman. He is the dirt underneath your boot, and he freely admits it. But deep down, aside from his carnival showmanship and his sneaky magician, snake oilsman, type of persona, deep down you can tell he is a good person, and he realizes that he is, on the surface level, he is a bad person, but deep down he does recognize there's good in him, but he doesn't want to be the good guy. He wants to be like his heroes, Harry Houdini, Thomas Edison. He wants to be a great man, and he says this, and this is a theme throughout the entire film. But on the whole, he keeps getting in the way of himself. And long story short, he winds up being whisked away, much the same way that Dorothy was in the original movie, off to the land of Oz. And in this particular situation, as the trailers make very evident, he comes across 3 different witches. And it's kind of up to him to try and determine and get down to the meat of the matter and figured out which one of these women can he trust, who is not who they say they are, basically, is really the best way I can put it. And one of the things that I really thought was good about this film is that the imagery, first and foremost, the imagery in this film is absolutely breathtaking. Everything about it just screams good. And now I will say this, Sam Raimi, who is the director of this film, does get a little out of hand with the CGI from time to time, but at no point in the movie did I ever feel like this is just way too much, or maybe they should dial it back some. I mean, there are those moments you'll see some that's CGI, and you'll go, I don't know about that. But ultimately, no point in the film did I feel like, man, this guy went full George Lucas on us with the CG. And what was there was actually really good. They did a really good job with it. They actually sold to me that this world exists, that when you reach this Technicolor realm, that this is what it is. And they do a really good job of recapturing the magic that was the original Wizard of Oz. Like, it actually took me back to being, a little kid, 5, 6 years old, seeing the Wizard of Oz for the first time, and the wonderment that I had with it. Especially in the scenes where they switch from black and white to color. And, I mean, like I said, it's a very, very good film. The acting in it does run the gamut. It's very good. On the whole, I would be willing to say, if I had to break it down in percentages, this movie is 90 maybe even 95% well acted. You got James Franco as Oz, you got Mila Kunis as Theodora, Rachel Weiss and Michelle Williams. You got Zach Braff, from Scrubs, for Christ's sakes, and he's doing a great job. Bill Cobbs, who's been in the business for a long time. I mean, they even got the I'm probably gonna catch a lot of flack from people who are dwarfs or little people, whatever the nomenclature is. But Tony Cox, who many people may recognize from some of the things like Bad Santa and Me, Myself, and Irene. He's been in just about any movie that has little people, little person actors in it. The man is just amazing. He's a good. I mean, let me take that back. He's not a great actor. Let's go ahead and take that right off the table now. But the man is just a great human being, and he has been in the business for a long time. And I actually appreciated that, he was there. And another one that you get as well is, since this is a Sam Raimi joint, you get the obligatory Bruce Campbell special. So, of course, he's going to be in there in some kind of a cameo bit role. And I mean, basically, those are your main big name actors that are in the film. And once you go beyond that, you start breaking into some of the smaller characters. And you just really fleshing out, who the rest of these people are and the rest of the people in this world. Another one I actually want to mention, but I kind of forgot because I've never really seen this girl in very many things except for when I saw Crazy Stupid Love. She was in that. But Joey King plays, and this is a child actress, she plays China Girl. And is the little cute, adorable little porcelain little girl that's in the movie as well. And like I said, Zach Braff plays James Franco's plays the little monkey, the little flying monkey that is his partner and all this. And I really thought that they did a really good job with these guys. These guys actually kind of help punch the script up a little bit, keep those moments that would be otherwise boring. They keep them very well in control and keep it lighthearted, which I thought was a very good thing because the story gets a little dark in some parts and not like super like Dark Knight Returns or anything like that, but I mean it gets to a point where you go, man, this is getting to some places, they're going some places here. But I mean, they help bring a little bit more life to it. I mean, really, the characters as a whole never really let anything get too serious. James Franco's hamming it up as much as humanly possible. And I think he's a great actor. Here, he's playing to his strengths here. He's using his wit and his charm to really make you fall in love with his character, who Oz is not supposed to be the most likable guy, at least as far as, like, he's that guy that you see him in a movie, you think, oh, man, he's pretty cool. But if you knew him in real life, he would be that guy you go, oh, man, yeah, Oz is coming over, right? Yeah, man, look, dude, let's just hope he doesn't pull any bullshit tonight. He's that guy. But you still love him because deep down he's got some good in him. Like I was saying before. And with the three witches in the film, I thought that they all did a great job. Mila Kunis, Rachel Weiss, Michelle Williams, all did an amazing job. There were some parts in there where I felt like Mila Kunis was a little weak in a couple of places, and not even you can't really get into what those things are, but just it kind of felt a little forced in some spots. Rachel Weisz did a very amazing job. I mean, she really didn't have a whole lot to do in the movie for as much as she was in it, but when she was there, she earned her paycheck. Michelle Williams sold every single line she said in the entire movie. Actually, I thought she was probably, of the lightheartedness that came from any of the characters, I thought she was one of the stronger elements, of that. Like I said, going back to the special effects are amazing. Yeah, like I said, I didn't see this in 3D, so I can't really say one way or another how I felt about the 3D in it. But the scenes that I saw in the film that actually let you know what you're missing if you didn't see this in 3D, those scenes that are you're like, oh, man, I see, that would have been that thing. That would have been that money shot in the 3D version. And yeah, like I said, everything was good. It's a very good, cohesive story. Running time on it is a smidge long, a little bit longer than I would have cared. to have had. I wasn't really watching, the clock or anything like that too much, but this movie does come in at about 130 minutes. So, about right towards the end, right when it was starting to wrap up, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's getting ready to be over. But it's just, like I said, everything was good there. Everything felt really good there. Sam Raimi has already kind of come out and said that, as much fun as he's had directing this film, and as much fun as I had enjoying this film, that he wasn't really too quick to want to come back on a sequel for it or anything, because he kind of felt like everything had been done. And I kind of feel that way too. I mean, pretty much, this is one of those films that I kind of am of the impression does not deserve a sequel, because that sequel already exists. That's the original Wizard of Oz. Anything else in between would probably be going to the well one too many times. This movie does a very good job of opening up the story, of telling you who Oz was before Dorothy finds him and seeks him out in the original film. This movie shows you where the original witches come from, why they are the way they are. They give very good explanations for each character. Every character has their moment. Every character has their closure. I mean, everything just felt really good. Now, I will say this. Short of the runtime, the only really bad thing I can say about this film, really just a couple of things. Like I said, saying overall the movie's well acted. Mila Kunis a little wooden in a couple of parts. The runtime is just a smidge too long, but not too bad. Other than that, I will say that because, and this kind of goes back to the runtime, there are a couple of scenes here and there that felt a little forced. They were a little bit too tongue-in-cheek, a little bit too wink-wink, nudge-nudge. Look, here, this is from the original movie. You guys see that? Y'all paying attention? I don't like shit like that. And, I mean, I get it. This is a prequel, so they kind of want to give fans a wink nod to say, hey, look, this is from the original film. You'll totally love this. That's great. But at the end of the day, just tell your story. We know that this is a prequel to The Wizard of Oz. We get that. I'm not even going to tell you what some of those wink-wink, nudge-nudge moments are, but when you see them, you'll probably feel the same way I did, most likely. You'll be like, oh, that's cute. Anyway, let's get back to the story. Let's get this wrapped up. And speaking of, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up my review. And I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't think this is the best movie I've seen all year, and I don't even think it's the worst by any stretch of the imagination. I did really enjoy it. It's not something I would necessarily come back to again, maybe. I might catch it on home video later, but it's not something I just feel like I absolutely would have to have. But I do feel that Oz the Great and Powerful is a must-see on the big screen. I feel like it's worth your money to actually go catch this. I would actually say you would probably be okay throwing down full price for it. Or if you kind of got some skepticism about it, I would say still it's good at a matinee price. But ultimately, I do feel like this movie is worth it for you to go out to the movie theater and see this film. This isn't one of those I actually think you should wait for. I think it's one you should catch while it's still hot. Now, that being said, like I said, keep it real with me like I keep it real with you. Comment, like, subscribe, do what you do. And like I said, stay tuned for more content.
Am I dreaming?
You're in Oz. Aren't you the great man we've been waiting for?